Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 7, Chapter 15, the instructions for civilized human beings. Text 1. Narada Muni continued, My dear king, some Brahmanas are very much attached to the fruitive activities, some are attached to the austerities and penance, and still others study the Vedic literatures, whereas some, although very few, cultivated knowledge and practiced different yogas, especially Bhakti Yoga. Text 2. A person desiring liberation for his forefathers or himself should give charity to a Brahmana who adheres to the impersonal monism, jana nishta. In the absence of such an advanced Brahmana, charity may be given to the Brahmana addicted to fruitive activities, karma kanda. Text 3. During the period for offering oblations to the demigods, one should invite only two brahmanas, and while offering oblations to the forefathers, one may invite three brahmanas, or in either case, only one brahmana will be sufficient. Even though one is very opulent, he should not endeavor to invite more brahmanas or make various expensive arrangements on those occasions. Text 4. If one arranges to feed many brahmanas or relatives during the Shraddha ceremony, there will be differences in the time. Please respectability and ingredients, the persons to be worshipped, and the method of offering worship. Text 5. When one gets the opportunity of a suitable auspicious time and place, one should with love offer food prepared with ghee to the deity of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and then offer the prasad to the suitable person, a Vaishnava or the Brahmanan. This will be a cause of everlasting prosperity. Text 6. One should offer prasad to the demigods, the saintly persons, one's forefathers, the people in the general, one's family members, one's relatives, and one's friends, seeing them all as devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text 7. A person's fully aware of the religious principle should never offer anything like meat, eggs, or fish in the Shraddha ceremony. And even one is a Kshatriya, he himself should not eat such things. When suitable food prepared with ghee is offered to the saintly person, the function is pleasing to the forefathers and the Supreme Lord, who are never pleased when animals are killed in the name of the sacrifice. Text 8. Person who want to advance in the superior religions are advised to give up all the envy of other living entities, whether in relationship to the body, words, or mind. There is no religious superior to this. Text 9. Because of an awakening of the spiritual knowledge, those who are intelligent in regard to sacrifice, who are actually aware of the religious principles, and who are free from the material desires, control the self in the fire of the spiritual knowledge or the knowledge of the absolute truth. They may give up the process of the ritualistic ceremonies. Text 10. Upon seeing the person engaged in performing the sacrifice, animal meant to be sacrificed are extremely afraid, thinking, This merciless performer of the sacrifice, being ignorant of the purpose of the sacrifice and being the most satisfied by killing others, will surely kill us. Okay. Thank you so much to all devotees. And Achyuta Mataji, please take over the call, Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Mataji. We'll start with prayers. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे Hare Krishna devotees, thank you for joining. Thank you Sundaran Prabhu for giving me the opportunity, and thank you Mataji for reading the verses. So this is the last chapter of the seventh canto, and like we know that every canto is represented by the limbs of the Lord, of the Supreme Lord. So the seventh and eighth cantos of Bhagavatam represent the arms of the Supreme Lord, and seventh canto describes uti or inclination, and our inclination basically can be pious inclinations or impious inclinations. There are two types of inclinations. We saw the inclination of the first 10 chapters of this canto saw the inclination of Hiranyakashipu, right? The inauspicious inclinations. And then we also saw auspicious inclinations of Prahlad Maharaj. And this canto also describes two types of bhakti, pure devotional service or Shuddha Bhakti, which is which is what Prahlad Maharaj did. And then later half of this canto is describing Mishra Bhakti or mixed devotional service. So chapters 1 through 10 of this canto was describing pure devotional service, which was exhibited by Prahlad Maharaj. And then from the 11th chapter till this 15th chapter, where Narad Muni is explaining about those varnas and ashramas, and basically this is whoever is following this are doing Mishra Bhakti or mixed devotional service. So mixed devotional service basically is mixed with karma and jnana. And so that is why this varnashrama system is designed in a way so that people can also perform devotional service even if they have material desires and inclinations. So that was just a brief overview. And then coming back to this 15th chapter. So 15th chapter, we saw in the 14th chapter, last couple of verses, they talk about the importance of brahmanas in the society. And now, like, this, the first verse, we see that there are different types of brahmanas, different gradations amongst the Brahman class. So, the brahmanas who are attracted by austerities and penances and who retire. Okay, so the first type of brahmanas are the householder brahmanas. So the householder brahmanas are attached to the fruitive activities. So this is that is basically the grihastha brahmanas. So they are attached to fruitive activities and um, and and um, and they work towards the betterment of social conditions. And above them are brahmanas who are attracted by austerities and penances. So who are these brahmanas? These are the vanaprastha brahmanas. So they are attracted by austerities and penances, and they retire from family life. And above them are brahmanas who are interested in studying the Vedas and explaining the purport of the Vedas to others. And who are these brahmanas in the social order? They are the brahmacharis. And then there are brahmanas who are above all of them. They are interested in different types of yoga, especially bhakti yoga. And these are the sannyasis. So they cultivate knowledge and practice different types of yogas, mostly bhakti yoga. So that is what is explained in the by Narad Muni in the first verse. And then from text to So Narad Muni is talking about what should a Grihastha Brahmana do. So a Grihastha Brahmana, that means they are living in the Grihastha ashrama, and the most what they should do is perform charity and do Shrad. That is one of the big um, um, that is something that they should be doing, and that is what is explained here. A person desiring liberation for his forefathers or himself should give charity to brahmanas. And who is this? Who are the types of brahmanas that they should be given charity to? That is Jnana Nishta and Karma Kandi brahmanas. So, but in the purport, Prabhupada says in for text 2, and this is the verse that will be good to read for today. Karma Kandis and Jnana Kandis, they are also brahmanas, but we have to go above these brahmanas. Giving charity, instead of giving charity to Karma Kandis and Jnana Kandis, Prabhupada has mentioned in the purport that a charity should be given to those who are practicing bhakti yoga. And Prabhupada says, when Vaishnavas distribute charity, they do not need to find a Brahmana performing the activities of Gyan Kand or Karma Kand. The best example is given in Chaitanya Charitamrita of Advaitacharya. Advaitacharya performed Shraddha ceremony for his father. And in that Shraddha ceremony, all he did was he offered charity to Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur, who came actually, who was born in a Muslim family. He was not born in a Brahmin family. But he gave this, he performed the Shraddha ceremony by giving charity to Haridas Thakur, because Haridas Thakur was not performing Jnanakand or Karmakand. He was practicing Bhakti Yoga. So charity, therefore, it should be given to first class transcendentalist and a devotee, because even the scriptures recommend, and it's given in Bhagavatam, Muktanam api siddhanam narayana parayanam sudurlava prashantatma kotishwa api mahamune. It says, O great sage, among many millions who are liberated and perfect in knowledge of liberation, one may be a devotee of Lord Narayana or Krishna. Such devotees who are fully peaceful are extremely rare. So Vaishnava's position is even higher than a Jnani, and therefore Advaitacharya, he selected Haridas Thakur to be that person. And even Krishna says in Krishna says, Name Bhaktas Chaturvedi Mad Bhakta Swa Pacha Priya. So he says in Hari Bhakti Vilas, it is mentioned that even though a person is very learned in Sanskrit, he is not accepted as my devotee unless he is pure in devotional service. However, even though a person is born in a family of dog eaters, he is very dear to me if he is a pure devotee who has no motive to enjoy fruitive activities or mental speculation. Such devotees are worshipable as I am. So even though one may not be born in a Brahmin family or devotee family, or a devotee, because of his devotion to the Lord, is above all these kinds of all these different types of brahmanas, especially karmakandis or jnanakandis. And Krishna also mentions in Bhagavad Gita 9:30 the famous verse, Apichet suduracharo bhajate mam ananyabhak sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavasito hisa. Even one commits the most abominable actions, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated. So it does not matter whether a devotee, a person is coming from a Brahmana family or a non-Brahmana family, as long as he's practicing, and otherwise, as long as he is fully devoted to Krishna, he's practicing Krishna consciousness. And then in text 3, it says, during the period for offering oblations to the demigods, one should invite only 2 brahmanas. While offering oblations to the forefathers, one may invite 3 brahmanas, or in either case, only 1 brahmana will suffice. Even though one is very opulent, he should not endeavor to invite more brahmanas or make various expensive arrangements on these occasions. So Narad Muni is saying that, it should not spend, you should, definitely give charity, or charity should be given to the right person, but it should not, it may not be very elaborate. That is not the point. So like in the previous Advaitacharya's example, like we saw, he only invited Haridas Thakur and for the Shraddh ceremony. And then yeah, so that is what is mentioned here. And then in text 4, if one arranges to feed many brahmanas or relatives during the Shraddh ceremony, there will be discrepancies in time, place, respectability, and ingredients, the person to be worshipped, and the method of worship. So what will happen is, if there is a lot of elaborate arrangements, then there could be some discrepancies. So Narad Muni has prohibited unnecessary elaborate arrangements to feed relatives or brahmanas during the Shraddh ceremony. And yeah, that is what is mentioned, because there could be discrepancies in who should be invited, what is the right time, what is the right place, what should be offered, what should not be offered, and all of that. And then what should be offered and what should not be offered is mentioned in the next rest of these verses. So in text 5, it says, when one gets the opportunity of a suitable auspicious time and place, one should with love offer food prepared with ghee to the deity of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then offer the prasad to a suitable person, a Vaishnava or a Brahmana. This will be the cause of everlasting prosperity. So again, um, it's like coming towards how or what should be offered. So basically, prasad should be offered, though, and especially that is cooked with ghee. It says here, prepared with ghee, and which is offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to the deity, and that prasad should be offered to the Vaishnavas or the Brahmanas. So this is what should be offered. And then after this prasad is after the bhoga is offered, and then once it becomes prasad, this prasad should be offered to the demigod, saintly person, forefathers, people, like other general public, one's family members, one's relatives, one's friends, seeing all of them as devotees of the personality of Godhead. So once this bhoga is offered and becomes prasad, this prasad should be offered to different people, and we should see all of them as devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this prasad distribution um, is highly recommended by Narada Muni. And then in the 7th verse, a person fully aware of the religious principles should never offer anything like meat, eggs, or fish in the Shraddh ceremony, even if one is a Kshatriya. He should not eat such things. When suitable food prepared with ghee is offered to saintly persons, the function is pleasing to the forefathers and the Supreme Lord, who are never pleased when animals are killed in the name of sacrifice. So this is mentioning what should not be offered. In the previous verse, we saw what should be offered. Now this is, so meat, fish, eggs is never to be offered, even if a person is a Kshatriya, comes from a Kshatriya background. These things should not be offered. Only the food that is prepared with ghee uh, is very pleasing, and is offered, of course, to the Supreme Lord. Only though that is pleasing to the forefathers. And also the Supreme Lord is also pleased, and he's not pleased when animals are sacrificed. Animals are killed in the name of sacrifice. And then this is still a ritualistic. The Shraddh ceremony is still it comes under ritualistic ceremony. So a person, it says in the 8th verse, a person who are advanced in superior religion are advised to give up all envy, and whether in relationship with this body or mind, and there is no religion superior to this. So and then in the text 9, it says, because of an awakening of spiritual knowledge, those who are intelligent in regard to sacrifice, who are actually aware of religious principles, and who are free from material desire, control the self control their self with knowledge, and they may give up this ritualistic ceremony. So this ritualistic ceremonies is not a requirement. It's not a necessity, because those who have risen above, those who are free from material desires, it says here, free from material desires, free from envy, and those who can control their self, um, with this knowledge of the absolute truth, they can give up this ritualistic ceremonies. So this karmakandic ritualistic ceremony, these kind of rituals are basically for elevation to the higher planetary system, and also to awaken, and in the gradual, in that process, it awakens them spiritually. But those who are already on the path of pure devotion service or Krishna consciousness, they don't really need to follow these ceremonies. So when one cultivates this kind of knowledge, they are to be considered on a higher platform than those who are engaged in karma kanda or fruitive activities. So the objective of performing all these ritualistic activities is to rise, is to go beyond these miseries of birth and death. And so, if somebody is to go beyond the miseries of birth and death, one has to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then the last verse for today. Upon seeing the person engaged in performing the sacrifice, and animals meant to be sacrificed are extremely afraid, thinking, this merciless performer of sacrifices, being ignorant of the purpose of sacrifice and being most satisfied by killing others, will surely kill us. So animal sacrifice in the name of religion is practiced all over the world. That's what it is basically. Animal sacrifice means animal killing. It's not, it may or may not be like a sacrifice for a religious purpose. But right now, what we see is it's only for the pleasure of the palate. And even when Lord Jesus Christ was there, Prabhupada mentions this in the purport, that when Lord Jesus Christ was 12 years old, he was shocked to see the Jews sacrificing birds and animals in the synagogues, and that he therefore rejected the Jewish system of religion, and he started a religious system of Christianity. So that's how it began. And he started, and then in the Old Testament, he has this commandment that thou shalt not kill. But we see that slaughtering of animals is going on today. And but when one kills these poor animals and birds, the quality of mercy is also lost. So when one is merciless, then basically, out of the four regulative principles, one is do not eat meat. So when one does that, the quality of mercy is reduced in us. So that is why we practice, we do not kill animals, and they should not be killed even in the name of sacrifice. So that is what Narad Muni has mentioned, and that was the last verse for today. I think I'll pause it here. Sundaran Prabhu, if you have anything to add, please feel free. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank
Mataji.
you,
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for a beautiful class. Thank you so much for all devotees for joining the class today. Let's pay our obeisances. Vancha kalpatarupyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namaha. Granted Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.